Hello, and welcome back to a new episode of Millennial TV. Today, we will be recapping The Hills Season 3, Episode 6, Second Chances. We are your hosts, Liz, Candace, and Adrienne, and we are so excited to have a guest host today, Andrew Perry, back with us on the
Hello.
pod. Yay! Andrew was a producer on The Hills for seasons 1 through 3, and we can't wait to hear all of your thoughts and commentary on this episode. Super excited. And in case anybody missed it, we had an interview with him on the last season. And not just saying this, but it was one of our best and fun interviews we did, I think. Um, and we'll link that in the show notes for if you missed it, you should go back and listen to it. So, yeah, I just wanted to say hi. How are you? How's everything been going?
Things are good. Thank you. And I'm excited to be back. I really enjoyed our last show. And if you like this one, go listen to more of me. No, it was it's so much fun talking about this.
We loved having you on, and the fact that you're coming back to recap one with us, we're like super excited about it. So thank you.
This is like a dream. Having an actual producer on to recap a whole episode that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
It's such a pleasure. I really, like you guys, I'm also fans. I loved working on the show and I loved watching it too.
All right. Well, let's get into it. So, on the previously on, we start with a recap of Spencer telling Brody over the phone that since he's been rolling with his enemy, that makes him Spencer's enemy. We hear Lauren's voiceover start, and she says, when Spencer broke up with Brody, Heidi's social circle got a little smaller, so she focused even more energy towards work. Lauren says that Audrina was keeping her distance from Justin after he refused to make her his girlfriend, but he was never far from her mind. Then she says that for once, her career and personal life were under control. Why is it that just when you get things together, you hear from the one person that can pull it all apart?
Dun, dun, dun.
I know.
I thought it was funny that we're creating this narrative that because Heidi has no friends because of Spencer, she threw herself into work. And I'm like, did she really though? Because we know Bolt House was kind of not a real thing.
Yeah, it is it's a real place.
Yes.
How's that? Or
Yes.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So in our opening scene, we are at the Teen Vogue office with Lauren and Whitney. And when Lauren walks in, Whitney asks her what's going on, and Lauren tells her that Jason called her last night. Whitney's super surprised by this and is like,
what? No way.
And she asks where he is right now. Lauren says he's in a rehab center in Orange County, but he got out today and he's stoked. Whitney asks how long it's been since they've spoken, and Lauren says that she doesn't even know. The last time she met up with him was to drop off his things. Whitney asks what he said, and Lauren tells her that he wants to meet and catch up, and she asks if she wants to, and Lauren tells her, I feel like he just has a way of every time I start to have everything back together and everything's good, and then Whitney says, he slips right on in. Lauren says it's like he has a pager that alerts him when everything is going good in Lauren's life.
Yeah, that was the beginning of slipping in. I think Whitney coined it. It's before DMs even.
Ooh,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And this was, this was a real thing, meaning that she felt he did do these things. This wasn't, we weren't molding the story on that part of it. It was just it was a feeling that Lauren had, that it's just like, it is kind of going well for me. And then now comes this guy who's, I'm definitely was wrapped up in and, not obsessed with, but, their relationship, was very involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for Lauren, Jason will always just be that guy.
Mhm.
Like he just had some sort of like hold on her for a little while.
At
And
this time, yes.
Yes, at this time. And I do think like, I don't know, it's kind of also, you're like, oh, it's kind of romantic. Like the second he gets his life together, he wants to talk to Lauren. Like she's that for him too. And it's like, you want them to be able to work things out, but you know it's toxic.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Especially
true.
because we've seen Jason be good and like be such a good boyfriend that you really want him to be a changed man and, come back to Lauren.
And
Yeah.
Lauren wants it too. Like you think she's like in the back of her mind a little bit. She's like, maybe this will be different. But it's like, at the same time, you're just like, no good can come from this though. This was terrible.
Right.
Right. She's running into the fire,
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I will say, Whitney looks amazing in this scene. She has a cute little tank top on. Her hair is real sleek. She looks fantastic. Like,
I'd
she
agree.
just, yeah, photo cover shoot girl in this scene.
But really just a Teen Vogue intern who just happens to.
Yeah. Yes.
Who just happens to fashion, right?
Right. I noticed in this episode, no spoilers, but that we never see Whitney stand up in this episode. It's like she's
That's
just
funny.
It's like sit in your chair
Yep.
and talk to Lauren is the job. That's the job.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, that was one thing we were going to ask you is that season 3 feels really different and there's less of a focus of them working at Teen Vogue. It's just like these closet scenes where Whitney's like, "What are you doing, Lauren? Like, what did you do last night?" We wanted to know like why you guys decided to change it for season 3.
It wasn't our choice, as I remember. I also don't think it was Teen Vogue's choice either. It was just these are the schedule that we had, and then Teen Vogue. This is the West Coast office. It's not like they've got shoots every week that Lauren or Whitney can be a part of or facilitate. It was just like, okay, they're going to go work at Teen Vogue. We'll do a scene there. I don't know that we saw that as a show opener. We just saw that she'll do a recap of what happened so that Whitney's included and you hear it from her, not just in the previously on. Yeah, there was no concerted effort on either side. Sincerely, there's nothing politic going on. It was just like, okay, do you have anything they can do? Well, they could sit in the closet and color code clothes. Oh, great. We'd love that.
That is really interesting though,
Yeah, that's
especially since Whitney got like the full-time position or whatever at the end of last season, but we don't actually see her doing as much with it in this season, at least not yet from the episodes we've watched.
She did do real work for them and she really liked that place. I think that was a goal of hers prior to coming onto the show. So not to out anyone, I think Lauren saw this as, okay, it's a set. That's the Teen Vogue closet. We don't put that in their heads, but I think it was just like, okay, time to talk to Whitney and don't have Whitney stand up. That was the only direction. No, I'm kidding.
I love Whitney though. Like, I love her little recap, life. Like, I just love that that's what she's used for. It's like, it's so funny. That Lauren's going to go to work the next day. Whitney's going to ask, "What'd you do last night?" Like, it was familiar.
It is. That's where we like that friendship. We wanted to evolve it, especially since Heidi was now, they were butting heads. Also, I love how Whitney talks. Sincerely, how's it going?
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
There's like a K in there or something, and it's I don't know. She was good TV. It was a joy working with her.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time. We love her something.
Oh, I'm so glad that other people hear it too.
Yes.
So our first scene is Lauren and Audrina, and we're at the gym, and they are working out with their personal trainer. And Lauren's like, "My phone's ringing," and the trainer asks if she has her phone with her, and she says no. She says her BlackBerry is like a dog whistle. No one will hear it ringing, but she knows that it's going off. Lauren asks the trainer if he's done boot camp, and he says no, but he teaches boot camp. She tells him they were out last night and some guy was saying that it's not that hard. And then they realize that the guy she was talking to, Derek, is friends with the trainer.
What's his name?
Derek?
Ah, that was him.
Who, Derek?
Mhm.
You met Derek?
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
He's a nice guy.
And then he says that the four of them should go out tonight. And Lauren says, okay. He asks where they're going, and Lauren says Lola's. Audrina says it's their favorite place, and they go there all the time. And then he says that they're doing shots tonight, too. And Lauren's like, what kind of trainer are you that wants me to take shots?
Like, what kind of 20-year-old are you that has a personal trainer?
Yeah,
I do not have a personal trainer at 20 years old.
Well, you're a 20-year-old on the hit television show The Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought I thought it was cool. But I just thought that was so funny. They're just like hanging out with their trainer. They're gonna go have shots with their trainer.
we try to get them out of the house and do stuff. I'm sure that I feel like Audrina had a real trainer. Not that Jared isn't a real trainer, but I think Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
I think Audrina had somebody already. I don't know. I don't think this was Lauren's daily or weekly routine, as far as I remember. If she comes on and says different, I'll agree.
This is really setting me up for the life that I never had,
Absolutely.
thinking that this is going to be
Absolutely.
me.
Absolutely. I'm like, I'm going to have a trainer. We're going to be going out every night. It's going to be great. And
we're going to do shots. We're going to train.
Yep.
Where's my Derek?
Exactly.
Where's my...
Exactly. We were all set up.
Do you remember if this Derek date was set up, or was it something that they thought of themselves?
I truly don't remember. My guess is that Jarrett came into our world probably naturally, but I don't know that. He was a real trainer. He could have been one of the cast members, or even a crew member might have gone, oh, this guy might be good for not a love interest, but somebody for Lauren to get to know. Just because we knew that we had no idea where the Jason relationship was going to go. And we needed, she was open to dating and meeting people. This was all arguably pre-apps even. So again, it wasn't like central casting or anything, and as far as Derek goes, no idea. Like are Derek and Jared, are Derek and Jared friends, or do they just both grow up on the East Coast?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fair. No, it's all good.
So they're still at the gym, but they're coming outside with some smoothies, and they sit down at a table. And Audrina asks if it was Jason that called during the workout, and Lauren says, yeah, he wants to get together. She asks Audrina if Justin has called her yet, and she says that he keeps calling her, but she's not answering. And Lauren says, don't you hate that? With bad guys, when you just want to get over them and want them out of your life, and as soon as you stop thinking about them, they'll send you a text message or call you. It's like they know you just stopped thinking about them. It's like a radar. Audrina says, we're going to go out and have fun. No more Justin or Jason, only new boys. And they cheers their smoothies to that.
And I just go, Audrina, stop lying to yourself. We're going to be on this Justin Bobby train for a long time.
Long time.
People, they make plans. They're making plans.
Yes.
They're making plans with the best of intentions. Yeah. Correct.
Those are some nice little bits, and that radar line is really nice. It's funny, and it sets her up for where she was in her head at that time.
Yeah.
Lauren. Yeah.
Yes. So next we are at the Bolt House offices, and when Heidi walks in, Elodie asks her if she's heard about the new job opening. Heidi says no, why? And Elodie tells her that there's a new job opening for an events director, and it comes with its own office. They look into the empty office, and Heidi says there's so much space in there. Elodie says she's dying for her own office, and they talk about how the position would have a lot more client interaction, it would be a big step up, and Heidi says, it sounds like a big job. Elodie says she doesn't know when they'll hire for it, but hopefully they promote from within. Heidi agrees that she should talk to Brent about it, and Elodie says that she definitely thinks she's ready, and she's worked here for 2 years. And Heidi says, that's it? And Elodie says, yes. She's like, yeah, I've worked here for a little over 2 years. Heidi pauses and then asks, so you started right before I did? And Elodie says, about a year before. I've worked pretty hard, so hopefully Brent will acknowledge it. Heidi asks when she's going to talk to him, and Elodie says she needs to check his schedule and set up an appointment. What the heck, Heidi?
I love this storyline. Yes. I love it more than anything. Elodie is one of my favorites on the show, and I love this storyline. Real or not, it was a fantastic television.
It brought back many, many memories of not only shooting with Elodie, but also editing scenes with her. Her annoyance level with Heidi and the whole so hold on, this person's coming in with a fake job and she's going to pretend that she knows what she's doing, and I actually work here. But Elodie also wanted, she liked the show, she wanted to be on it, and so it was like, this is the role. She was really enjoyable. We would shoot lots of scenes. There were tons of scenes that we shot with them that didn't. There are few that make it into the season, but I know that we shot way more than that because we enjoyed working with her. Her and Heidi had a genuine friction, although I don't know that we presented it as just Heidi's presence there was the issue. But
It always felt like Heidi wanted to be friends with Elodie, and Elodie was like kind of her frenemy. Like she,
Yes.
she would try to talk to her about things, but then also secretly like hated her and would stab her in the back. But it was so like it was such good television, and I just Elodie's energy is so good. You're kind of like, well, what did Heidi ever do to you? But it's that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I have this job and I work hard at it, and this girl is just gonna walk in and pretend she works here. Like,
well, there was some work that went on for Heidi, you know, but she also, it's a very, I think Elodie was, I mean, we liked the relationship just like you did because we thought it showed how people in the workplace actually are, where you have coworkers that you're not only competing against, but you are a frenemy of. And it was, I mean, it's frankly incredibly funny. I mean,
it's
you know,
hilarious.
It's so good.
It is.
And it's a very, I mean, this is a C story, you know, like, I mean, what are there, 2 scenes of it? Three scenes. It's, you know, we tell it very quickly, and it's
hysterical.
Again, no spoilers. It's a nice ending.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, this is one of my favorite storylines. It's just so funny, and Elodie is great. I don't even know what to say. Elodie is fantastic.
I know. We wish so badly to like interview her, and we've been trying to reach out to her to get her on the podcast.
Oh, really?
But we haven't been successful yet, but we are trying.
She reaches back out. I've emailed her, and we are friends on Instagram. So hopefully she'll respond.
If you know her, Andrew, please give us
you know, I'm sure I've liked something of hers in the last 15 years on Instagram. She was very enjoyable to work with, so I'm sure that hasn't changed. And if she wants to come on, I'm sure she'll.
Oh yeah, I would love
find
to.
Keep trying.
She'd be fun.
Exactly.
I'm still just laughing at Heidi's. That's it.
I worked here for 2 years.
That's it?
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
And poor Elodie's like, I've worked here for 2 years.
Yeah.
I should also say, here's a good spot for it, but Heidi's sense of I should already be the boss is a truly real thing for her. You know, she was arguably pre-millennial before the millennials of just like, yeah, I think I should be the boss. I mean, I've been here a week.
Yeah.
You know.
That tracks for Heidi's personality since season 1. Just, you know, she just has she likes to walk into things, and then she does the thing and it's wonderful and fabulous, and that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah.
Well, and when you have a partner like Spencer who pumps you up and continues like feeding that, of course, like that's why she thinks that way.
Absolutely.
That's very true. Yeah. Well, speaking of Spencer, we are then at Heidi and Spencer's apartment, and Heidi tells Spencer she has some good news, and Spencer says, I love good news. I don't know, the way he says things is hilarious to me.
I love good news.
She tells Spencer about the job opening, but says that she thinks Elodie might want it, and Spencer tells Heidi that she beyond deserves it, and he thinks she should do whatever it takes to get the position. She says how amazing it would be to get her own office and assistant. And Spencer says, guess who I think deserves it the most?
Okay, Spencer.
Yeah, I know.
And like, what has she done this season? We haven't seen her work at any events, no nightclubs, nothing.
But I did note that this episode, she was the most appropriate work outfits across the board this episode. And I was usually she's wearing like the same as what Lauren wears, which is just like, you know, fashiony little things. And she was
pretty
wearing
dress.
these, like, you know, blazers and like
collared shirts.
And I'm like, the pants, I'm like, Heidi really is trying to get this job.
I'm going to the office. I've got a jacket on to prove it. Yep.
Exactly.
So true.
I deserve my own office because I wore a collared shirt today.
I liked Spencer's line in this scene. Very legit.
Very legit.
Yeah. Yes. Sure. Yep. No doubt about it. Super legit.
No.
Yup.
Yeah.
And next we are on the double date with Lauren, Audrina, the personal trainer Jared, and Derek. They make small talk about where Audrina is from, and Derek talks about living in New York. And Lauren asks him why he's wearing a Michigan State shirt, and he says he bought it at a thrift store for 40 cents. And then he goes on like a tangent about vintage shirts and how it's crazy that he can buy a shirt for 40 cents at a thrift store, and then next year it'll be marked up to $40. Lauren's like, that's really weird, and she seems totally uninterested in this
Lauren
conversation.
could care
like,
less
yeah.
about this guy's thrifting prowess. Like, she does not care. And I was laughing so hard at this because Lauren cannot keep it off her face. Like,
No, she
Yeah.
can't.
she's not hiding it at all.
Mhm.
She's so uninterested in this guy, and like I would be too. He was a little, he was a little over the edge. But yeah, I'm like, why are
Yeah.
you talking about thrifting t-shirts? Just say that you liked the shirt and move on.
He was Derek was in, I think, a little over his head on many fronts. And we were when you're watching that date live, these are long nights.
Oh yeah.
And we did go to Les Deux after. And
Mhm.
you're looking at each other, listening to the conversation. It's incredibly boring. And you also know you're going to cut it this way because, unless something positive happened with Derek and Lauren later in the night, and she found a new
Yeah.
boyfriend.
You guys were there doing God's work and editing this for us, because if we
Yeah.
had to sit through this whole date,
No, you'd have a noose. Yeah. There's a moment I love where she's listening to Derek. It's at the end of the scene, and she almost sort of some eye roll with Jared, like you can see from her eye line. And then she looks, and you think she's looking at Derek, but she's looking at the camera. And it's like she's doing like one of those breaking the fourth wall moments, and we kept it in. It's very short, but it's so funny, and it's so like it's seriously a cry for help. Like, please end this date now, please.
I know. Well, I actually thought that she kind of looked into it when he, like, at the very beginning, she thought that he was cute at least.
Yeah.
But by
Right.
the end, she
Yeah.
was like, please stop talking. You
Mhm.
are insane.
yeah.
We had high hopes. We truly did. We thought, okay, as much as like we're not, hey, guys in line to go meet
Yeah.
Lauren, it was just like this guy could work,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but he was, he was stumbling.
Yeah. See, I thought Derek was cute, but I was never impressed by Derek.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought
Yeah.
Derek was cute until,
He was
okay,
fine.
Liz, you'll roll through it in this club scene.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we then see them at Les Deux, and Derek tells Lauren that he likes her more than anyone he's ever met. And she's like, no, you don't. And he asks, what if I can't stop thinking about you? Is that a bad thing in a non-psychotic way? And then he starts
Ooh.
talking about how maybe he is psychotic. Maybe he murdered someone.
Her face when he says that
I
too.
know.
She's like,
What?
Oh man.
Then he's like, I dated a girl in high school for 7 years. And Lauren says, be honest, you have girlfriend issues. And he says, not at all. And Lauren tells him that she had a boyfriend for a year and she has a million issues from that. And he tells Lauren, that's your problem. And Lauren gives him this look of like, what? Like, can't believe you just said that. And he says that he meant it in a nice way. She says, there's not a nice way of saying that. And he says, yes, there is. And then Audrina comes over and like rescues Lauren. They go to the bathroom. And Lauren's like really glad to be out of that conversation. And from outside the bathroom door, we hear Lauren telling Audrina that she's never wanted to stab herself in the eye more.
So funny.
I love the bathroom conversations. They're my
Yes.
favorite because you can't follow them in there, but we hear
Nope.
the audio and it's so good. It's always so good. And I love that they probably ran off to the bathroom to avoid you guys so that they can talk shit. But I love that you guys kept they kept those mics on.
Oh yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
There's lots of good stuff that either they forgot or it's they're a little more relaxed because they're
Yeah.
at the club.
Yes. And I love it. We're looking at the bathroom door, but it's still good content.
I think
Yeah.
with Derek, I don't know if we used his greatest hits. Like I feel like there was much more stuff, but we could have been trolling and just find the good stuff. I do remember Lauren, I forgot who she talked to, but she asked one of us if this was like if we were feeding Derek these crazy lines, like to
How
make
funny.
the scene seem weird, and we were not. We don't
He
do
was
that.
just him.
weird.
Yeah, that's Derek.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would like to know where Derek is today. We should try to find
Yeah,
Derek.
let's find him.
And ask him about this date.
I hope he's well.
So we are then back at Teen Vogue with Lauren and Whitney, and Whitney tells her that they need to color coordinate some clothes, and then she asks Lauren, "What's up? What's new?" Lauren tells Whitney she's tired because last night her and Audrina went out with Jared and Derek. Whitney asks Jared, as in our trainer, and asks how it was. Lauren says it was kind of brutal and says,
On the first date, don't tell me that you like me more than any girl you've ever met. That's scary.
It is a little scary.
yeah.
Especially if you're not both feeling it, you know? If it went really
Yes.
well, that's really cute, but not this.
No.
Well, and then he's talking about murdering someone. Like, this is all a
Yeah.
lot to take in.
Lauren says that she feels like a guy should know not to talk about himself for 2 hours straight. And Whitney says at least she wasn't with him by herself. And Lauren does like a super dramatic head turn at Whitney when she says this. And she's like, don't even say that. That's not even funny. Whitney says that guys need to realize they might have to wait a little while and they shouldn't be so desperate. And Lauren says, do you know that every guy I've gone out with since Jason, I've only gone on a first date with? She says she has a 1-date curse that she needs to break. And Whitney tells her that she thinks it's just something everyone has to go through. Not everyone is going to be your Prince Charming.
Wise words, Whitney. That is
Mhm.
so true.
Yep, we've watched enough Laguna Beach in the Hills to know that that is true.
Yeah.
So true. Whitney's a fountain of intelligence for relationship advice. I loved her line of guys need to not be so desperate.
Yeah.
It's just it so speaks to where she lives, and you know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
Whitney always has sage advice. Like, she's just a good listener. She takes it all in and she gives you what she really thinks.
Yeah.
She's a good friend to have around.
Mhm.
and I thought the Teen Vogue office looked really nice. No, and
It
like
did.
the closet was looked good. It's always nice when you get to see the clothing racks too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I liked Lauren's dress here. It was peak
Me too.
2000s.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
The umpire waist, it was really cute.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No, I was going to say, you guys hit the jackpot with Whitney because you have someone that's so great at being a friend of, but never really wanting to steal the spotlight for herself. Like,
Mhm.
whereas if you had someone like Heidi, like she enjoys the spotlight. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like Whitney was such a good choice to cast as this friend of.
Mhm.
Yes, you also you don't want two Heidis, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
or two. I mean, you need one. Your hero is Lauren, but you also need, you know, I think Whitney was just she came along and it was like, well, let's try this out, and that's how we do it with people originally, and also, you know, like if Derek and Lauren had hit it off, not even as boyfriend and girlfriend, we would have shot more with Derek. You know, like
Mhm.
if there's chemistry that we can see, it's like, yeah, let's keep it. And Whitney was totally down with that. And also there was part of Whitney very early on. She wasn't wanting to show that much of her life. You know, she's like, I can do this and I'll go to these parties, but like, I don't know if she said it explicitly, but it wasn't like we're going to go on a date with Whitney in season 2 or something, you know?
So I have a kind of a random question.
Sure.
Why did you guys choose Audrina over incorporating Jen Bunny? I'm just curious.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it wasn't like a casting where you have, you know, here are 7 people on the wall and what combos work nice. I will say I don't think Lauren and Jen Bunny are the best of pals, even when they, you know, even
Sure.
before the stuff that happens later in the seasons.
Sure.
I think Audrina was I mean this positively, a blank slate. We hadn't met her before. There was no baggage, which I think there was with Jen Bunny. And Jen Bunny also is you know, I know you may be listening, Jen. She was at that time, she was a very dramatic person as I remember it. And it was like, well, we have Heidi. Lauren is friends with her already. Why don't we bring new people into her life? And it was does this foursome work? does it? And I'm not sure if Jen was going to med school or something at the time. That might have played a role too. I truly don't know, but it
Just
doesn't.
not
It wasn't
having
a
the time.
yeah. It wasn't a huge like, oh, med school, you can't be on the show. And we also knew that Audrina wanted to get into the film or TV business. She had that job, that her real job at Coyote. She was just trying to, she was whatever she was, 22, 23, 21, just trying to figure out life in LA coming up from Orange County.
I just have always wondered if they went that route, bringing in somebody new rather than Jen Money. I'm like, they're both brunettes. They're both, like in the scene. Like, why did we choose?
Well, and similar to that, how about Lo? Because she does come back more as a friend this season, but like, did you guys consider her for the like main cast of The Hills?
Again, I mean, I came on after they'd shot the pilot, and that wasn't also the pilot was I think you need to think of it as more of a test tape. Like, does this work was the main question. So if after the pilot, they're like, if Audrina hadn't worked out or Whitney hadn't or whoever else, it would have just, oh, we'll pivot and then we'll change how the open is. So for Lo, again, I'm not sure that she was on like a list of, oh, here are the other people who could do this. I think she was a friend of Lauren's and no one was thinking, oh, let's bring Lo up too. It was just like, if Lo and Lauren have a life together, meaning scenes where she comes to town, I think she might have still been living in Laguna. No, she, I mean, truly, I forget how many episodes she was in, but she was also a joy to work with. Very funny.
We love Lo.
I'm not sure if we've had this scene. Maybe if you haven't had it yet, you can watch for it. I think they're getting sushi or maybe frozen yogurt, and they're at a restaurant, and she has this bun. Have you guys have you seen that
hair?
yet? Yeah, her hair is maybe arguably that high, and I remember when we were shooting it, someone said, I can't name that person, who said, "Is that a raccoon on her head?" It
so
stayed
funny.
with me. Lo, sorry, your hair's looking amazing now, as it does in this episode too.
We love Lo to death, but we also always talk about how we call her Lady Lo.
Yes,
because
she looks like
kind
the
of
mayor's
dresses
wife.
like the mayor's wife, or like
yes,
from
very
Bridgerton.
much so.
Like just very high class, like while everybody else is in their clubbing clothes.
Right. Well, she was I think the instigator or the tool of the calling Justin Bobby.
Yes.
Yeah.
The creator.
Yeah.
Yes, we love
have
it.
Have we talked about that? I forgot.
We just watched that episode and recapped it and just aired it. Our episode was called "The Birth of Justin Bobby" because it's iconic.
Right. So he was in real life, he was he cut Audrina's hair like for, I think, before she was getting ready for a scene. And we're like, who's this guy? He was very much not Brian or Jordan or any of those guys. And it was like, he's got a really different vibe. And Audrina was like, yeah, that's Justin. And then we meet him and he goes, my name's Bobby. And it's like, are you the same guy that Audrina said is named Justin? And so then then we as a crew on our own, not, oh, it's Justin Bobby, he's here. Like, as that was just it wasn't a shorthand, but that was our terminology. And then Lo picked up on that. And that's why she brought it into the scene.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
I love it that now he's just forever Justin Bobby in the minds of the world.
Well, also, I think we try to do him okay when we lower third him as just Justin. Like we don't. I don't think we Justin Bobby him in the lower third.
Did you guys have to convince him to do the filming? Because it kind of seems like he hates it, but he's still on like every episode.
Yes and yes. It says the cast member who then also is in the reboot and probably hated that too.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Justin was, he's a little a fun guy and definitely unique, but a little too cool for school. Like it's just like reality television. Okay, I'll do a scene with Audrina, You know, and then his whole like non-commitment to Audrina.
Ugh.
Not that you need to be, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, but it's just like he's, you know, he at that time was no one's idea of a great boyfriend, you know? So
No.
again, not sorry if you're listening. Yes, he was reticent. It took forever to book him. He would be late. You know, it's just the regular hassles. I'll wait till we get to the
Yeah.
motorcycle scene to talk,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we'll get into it. We'll get there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So next we are back at the Bolt House offices, and we like see Heidi, and Brent like has his back turned, and I thought it was like such an obvious voiceover of, "Hey Heidi, you want to come in? I know you wanted to talk." It was like it was funny. Heidi goes into his office and tells him that she heard about the job opening up for the event director and was thinking that maybe she could be considered for that position. Brent tells her it's a team decision, and then there's also Elodie. Heidi says she feels like she's been there a long time and she's worked really hard and she'd definitely be up for the task if she'd be considered.
I mean, right? Like, she has been working hard. She put 9 to 5 in her calendar
I saw
every
that.
day.
Work.
You know, like
Yeah.
work. She's been working really hard,
Mm-hmm.
not playing solitaire.
That
Yeah.
scene was, you know, there is, let's call it help. Okay, Liz, there's a lot of help in that scene. And
Yeah.
astute viewers might notice now, years later, that many of the very important lines are not said on camera.
Yeah.
We never caught that before. Only on
right.
this watch.
Only
like,
now,
That's
watch.
interesting.
yeah.
Well, thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you fooled us.
Excellent. That's our job. But think of owning a business that's thriving, and in comes this woman who's fake working there, and now she wants a promotion. And that's where Brent was in, you know, that's what he's in his mind that way of like, okay. Oh, hey, we need you for a scene with Heidi. Yeah,
Great.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it hard to get Brent on board with this kind of stuff? Because, yeah, like you said, he's running a serious business, but he's also playing along with all of like this kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, he was. I mean, we had, I think, Sophia and maybe Adam DeVello, Sophia Rossi,
Yes.
the talent producer, knew him socially in the scene. You know, he runs clubs. If you're running a show in LA and with young people and you needed a club, he's the guy to go to. So that evolved, as did Heidi's job there. I wasn't involved in the upper machinations of that, of like, you know, okay, I'll be in 3 episodes and you can have the office twice a week or whatever it was. We wanted Heidi to have a job. She actually, I think, did more work when she was at clubs, as not whatever those jobs are, with the I've got a board and I'm checking people off.
Yeah.
And she did those, I think she did those things off camera too. So Brent, I think he was, you know, a little, it was just like, okay, if this is part of the deal, so be it. And whatever clubs we're shooting at, it's not hurting him. I mean, and I don't mean that rudely. I just mean like, there were clubs of his that I'm sure we went to that then blew up after we went there.
Oh, sure.
More,
Oh,
you know?
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
We only know about these because of the hills. Like, and
Yeah.
And we all wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't old enough to get in, but we all wanted to be there.
LA Do was a lot was fun. LA, I think there's one LAX
yeah,
that was just like,
Mhm.
it was just like, why is this club here? You know, there were clubs like that too. So I think he was like cautiously involved with it and was happy to play along. But I think even for this scene, it was a little much,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's why you hear him in dialogue later.
Yeah,
Yes.
we actually pointed out in one of the episodes that he looks at Heidi and goes, "What's going on with Lauren and Brody?" And we're like, why is he asking her
Why
that?
would your boss ask you that? Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I know. I'm sure when we were shooting it and editing it, we're like, what? Why?
Yeah.
That's like, is this the only guy who can talk to her?
Yeah.
Like, it's like we didn't have anyone else to ask.
Yeah.
her, you know?
Yeah.
We're like, does
Yeah.
Heidi really not have friends at this moment? Like, what is going on?
Well, she didn't have friends that we wanted on camera. I mean, I'm not saying they're crappy. I'm just saying there wasn't anybody that we were introduced to in the world.
Sure.
Because Audrina was now, she's living with Lauren, so she's Team Lauren, right?
Mhm.
And Whitney and Heidi didn't have a relationship really. And Whitney was obviously on Lauren's side too. So there wasn't a world besides Spencer. And we also, I think, you have to remember too, it's a 22-minute show. There's only so many things you can squeeze in. So it's like, hey, Brent, why don't you ask her how Brody is doing? It's just like, and I'm sure he's like, who? Oh, that guy? Yeah.
He's so genuine about it though too. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
they're not hanging out anymore. Like what?
Oh yeah, but
he does his job well.
It's at the top of his list of should I care about. Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if someone who's my assistant's friend's boyfriend is. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are then at the Hillside Villas with Lauren and Audrina, and Audrina says that Jared texted her and said they need to get their butts in the gym ASAP. We've been slacking. Lauren does not respond to this, but then we hear the doorbell ring and she yells to come in. The door's open. It's Lo at the door, and she comes in and says that she heard that Audrina got in a fight with Justin Bobby. Audrina says yes, and that she's not going to go out of her way, but she's still going to be friendly to him. Lauren's phone is ringing, and when she answers it, Lo asks, "You pick up unknown numbers?" I thought that was really funny. Yes, I agree with that.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't do that. Lauren tells whoever is on the phone that she's cooking with the girls. Lo asks if it's her dad, and Lauren quietly mouths Jason. And Lo yells, "No way, I can't believe you," all while Lauren is still on the phone call. And Lauren says, "I thought you were calling me just to be nice." And then we get a shot of Lo, and she's just like, creepy. Then Lauren says, "Oh, I don't know," and she says goodbye and she hangs up. Audrina asks if Jason is doing good, and Lauren says, "You never know with him." She says that she told him they're good as friends, and Lo says, "You can't be just friends with somebody like that." And Lauren just gives her a look. They sit down to eat, and Audrina has a book titled Love and Sex that she's reading, and she asks Lauren a question from the book. And the question is, if starting now you could have $500 a day until you next touch your lover, how long do you think you would avoid physical contact? But then Audrina says that she's not in a relationship, so that question doesn't count. And the next question is, how many times have you fallen in love and allowed yourself to just be swept away? And Lauren holds up one finger, and Audrina asks, "Once? Was that Jason?" And then Audrina, Lo, and Lauren, they all just kind of stare at each other awkwardly before the scene ends.
It's one of those classic The Hill scenes where they're like, I'm going to stare at you, and now you're going to stare at me, and then we're all going to stare into the distance. It's my favorite.
Yep.
I love it.
Like you do when you're with a group of friends. You just...
Yeah. Stare off longingly, thinking about past lovers. Yeah,
right.
I love it.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? And who doesn't open a book about sex and love? I super don't remember that prompt for Audrina to do that. I do remember, I'm not sure that we knew what that scene was when we shot it. You've got Audrina and Lauren on one side of the counter, and then Lo comes in and she's on the other side of the counter, and then Lo comes and sits down. And I know this is all just sort of the mechanics of where people were, but I remember thinking, okay, are we doing the scene at the table now? And is Lauren really making food? All of that was it felt much more like the first season where we were a little more loose and letting reality happen. And I think we were doing that night with Lo. And so the book thing, it feels incredibly prompted, but I truly don't remember anyone saying that to Audrina.
But as the audience, we love these scenes
because
we get to see them being normal and just having a girl night. And it feels, that's what feels relatable. Because obviously we can't relate to being young, rich, and famous and in LA, but we can relate to girl dinners and boys.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I mean, when we were figuring out what episodes are going to be and what we've shot and what we still need to shoot, we would often there'd be not a blank card, but a card that would say Girls Night Out, which just meant, okay, we're going to have more than two people. It's probably going to be cast that we know or we know adjacent, like Lowe. And then it was sort of, you were aware that the bar for story for Girls' Night Out was much more of a follow situation and let things unwind at their own pace, as opposed to, I need you to mention Jason and I need you to do that. You know, it was just like, well, we'll have some of their talk. And I feel like that scene even now feels a little different, even with Audrina's, book thing.
It's really interesting what you said, because like, are some of the more produced scenes as specific as like, you're gonna sit at this table and have a conversation here, rather than like, to me this is just a scene in the apartment, like it could happen anywhere, but
It's
at least
organic,
you
yeah.
have a location. But are you
Yes.
guys as specific as like, you're sitting on the couch and having this conversation, like you're at this table?
It really depends on what we needed the scene to do and where we were in the storytelling process.
Mm.
If we'd already cut half the show, we would know what scenes were missing. And so those scenes we would go and get them as, and they're called pickups. And you would just be like, we need some footage that will bridge this scene to that scene. And it should be related to one of them, either as a recap or as a setup for the next scene. And when we were shooting at the house, there's a lot more freedom at her apartment, obviously. And they're also much more relaxed because they're not in public and there's nobody at the next table, and they don't feel bad when a producer comes in and goes, okay, can you hit that again? We didn't hear it correctly. At home, at their homes, it's just like you guys hanging out now, or, you're more comfortable. And if somebody gives you some direction, it's like, okay. And as far as shooting, we would shoot against the wall towards the couch. We would shoot towards the kitchen. Sometimes we were in the kind of hallway stairwell to shoot another angle on the kitchen. But for those kinds of scenes, we weren't like, okay, you need to hit Jason when you're on the couch. And then when you're in the kitchen, I need to hear that, Jared isn't the best trainer or some, I'm sure he's fine. It really, you're moving around in your head. What do we need for this scene? And if you're shooting the scene without knowing the need, then you let it breathe much more, because you could find gold, you could find great moments.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you said something, sorry, one more.
Sure.
By season 3, The Hills was like super popular and there's paparazzi everywhere. So how were you dealing with things like that, where people are taking pictures of you guys shooting the scenes, you're going in and talking? Like, was that a bother at all?
Yes, it was a bother. It was still a little before everybody had an okay cell phone with camera, that, it wasn't just some grainy thing. So it wasn't as much non-people making a living as paparazzi. So it was real paparazzi who would track movements and would then call each other, and, they would know if it's, let's call it a Thursday night at Ledoux, they'd know they'd find somebody. And if we were shooting there, we would be aware of that. And we would do our best not to have any content happen outside of the club, so that if we were just doing an entrance of 4 women walking in, or whoever, 2 women, 2 guys, whatever, we would just get it as a exterior shot coming in from their cars. And the paparazzi might shoot that, but we wouldn't be exposing any part of the show except Lauren is here working, or Lauren's here tonight. I'm trying to think of other times. There were a couple of times where there were confrontations where paparazzi was really getting into the shot and ruining things. I don't know if you've noticed, but back then, a lot of paparazzi stuff was happening in parking lots, because that was considered public land. So nobody could kick them off or say that this isn't right, or so they sort of felt like they had free reign. And around Ledoux, the back of Ledoux is a giant parking lot where they felt that way. It didn't impact things. It was just like something to be conscious of. And just a bit of a burden, like, okay, if you're shooting at Ledoux, we need to be aware of these things. We also need to shoot, no content outside of the club unless it goes off the rails, like the night of
You Know What You Did.
Yeah, the night of You Know What You Did. It's just like, well, we're shooting it here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peak television. I love it.
Yes.
So, in our next scene, we are still at the Hillside Villas, but I'm pretty sure it's the next day, and we are out at the pool with Audrina and Lauren. Lauren says that Jared called her yesterday and he left a message and she hasn't listened to it yet. Audrina says they should listen to it right now. And Lauren says she kind of doesn't want to know what he's going to say. And Audrina jokes that he's going to say, "Hey, wifey, you want to get married?" Lauren says that's not funny. And she asks, "Is it just me?" And Audrina says, "No, you just know what you want and you're not going to settle for anything less." Lauren starts listening to the message on her phone and she's like laughing. And Audrina tells her to put it on speaker so she can hear it, but Lauren says no.
Lauren, put it on speaker. I want to hear
No.
it. Please.
I wish she would have put it on speaker.
I know. That would have been great for us.
Yeah. But she says that in the message, he said, "I was just calling to see if you want to get together tonight for drinks." And Lauren says that maybe she has too high of standards in her head. And Audrina tells her that there's no perfect guy. Lauren says she doesn't want a perfect guy and that she likes imperfection. Then Audrina tells her that Justin called and he apologized because she hadn't answered any of his calls for a week. Audrina says she answered the phone to hear what he had to say, and he apologized and said sorry, and he never says sorry. Lauren asks how the call ended, and Audrina says that she told him that maybe they're better off just as friends. And Lauren says, "You're not just friends. I just think you want to be with him when he's the good Justin. But he can't always be the good Justin, and you can't just like half of who a person is."
So wise again.
Yeah.
So good.
I loved her line about that. That was totally hers. You know, it's totally how she thought. And this scene is kind of, I don't mean to jump in on it, but this scene was, it's unique in that it feeds two different storylines, and because of that feels a little more real, even though they're in bathing suits by the water.
Yeah.
Because usually most of the scenes when we're telling stories on the hills are one subject. Like, you know, Heidi downloads to Spencer. Spencer doesn't also download about his beef or his day or go-kart racing. And so this was both, you know, this was a bonding moment between Lauren and Audrina, where they're both sort of lamenting arguably different problems with previous boyfriends, but there is a theme going through it, which Lauren, you know, is Lauren speaking to Audrina or to herself?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can tell that Lauren is kind of biting her tongue a little bit on this because she does not want a repeat of Heidi and Spencer.
Right.
But you could tell when Audrina's talking, she's just kind of smiling like, "I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything." And it's like, you know, it's hard. It's hard when you're watching your friends go down that path.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
And as a fan watching, we're like, "No, Audrina, not this again.
Yeah.
Remember when he burped in your face and left you at the beach?
You
Like,
in
come
Las
on,
Vegas,
girl."
and wore combat boots to the beach and
none of that.
It's a long list. So we are back at Bolt House, and Heidi comes into work and she sits down at a desk in her new office.
So she got the job.
She got the job.
Right, there's the visual.
Yeah, that's all we need. Elodie comes in and peeks her head into the office and says good morning, and she congratulates Heidi. She asks Heidi if she's going to decorate it, and Heidi says she's definitely going to put up some picture frames and stuff. Then she asks Elodie, "Is that a new purse?" And Elodie awkwardly shakes her head and says, "No."
Is that a new purse? No.
And there's an uncomfortable pause, and Heidi opens her mouth like she's going to say something, but then she doesn't. And then Elodie says, "Well, good for you. I mean, I'm glad."
And she sounds really glad.
I know.
Like super happy.
Well, good for you. I mean, I'm glad.
I can't tell you how much I love this scene. I cannot tell you.
Me too.
It's
Just
good.
It's so good.
I've forgotten about it, and just that she's sitting in the office at the top of the scene, you already know she got it, which is, I mean, like, I'm not kidding. We all were just laughing hysterically at the shot. Like, not while we were shooting it, when we were in the edit bay, when we were in post. It was just like, you know, oh, they're at the pool. What's next? Oh, Heidi. And it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's unceremonious because we don't get any scene of like, Heidi, congratulations.
Right.
We
Right.
just see her in this office.
Right. Yeah, that's the great thing, is that because we're later in the episode, you can really shorthand your storytelling and use visuals, as we do in the next scene. It's really nice, because if this were at the top of a show, you wouldn't understand the importance of it as much, I don't think.
Right.
And I also loved, Elodie in that scene. It's like pulling teeth to just, I'm positive that we were like, can you just go in again? And she's like, I'm sure I already said that. No, we need it again.
That's so good though. You can't write that. Like Elodie is just Elodie.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you can't write how
it's
good
not,
that was.
no one said go in and be a dick.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, so Heidi has the office now. Would you react to that? Yeah.
Oh man,
Man.
it's so good.
I was just gonna say too, though, that I love that reveal of her just in the office, because
Mhm.
it really gives you like the shock factor that Elodie would have actually had, rather than us being like, "Congrats, you got
Right.
the
Yeah.
job." Like it gives you a real reaction of like, "Holy crap!" Like, "Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, she got it." So I love it.
That's totally true.
Yeah. Okay, so Heidi says that she's sorry it didn't work out, and Elodie says it's fine. Heidi tells her she didn't want to step on anyone's toes, and she didn't want it to be like that. Elodie's nodding and says, "Yeah, but good for you, as long as you appreciate it as much as I would have." Heidi says she does, and Elodie tells her there's no hard feelings, and Heidi says, "Exactly, it's not personal." And then Elodie says, "If we have to work together then."
It's not personal. If we have to work together, then.
And then there's just like an awkward silence, and they both just like nod at each other. And then Elodie walks away, and it's so good.
Mm.
She's such a good, I'm like, she's a top tier actress to
Yes.
be doing this in this
Yeah.
scene. Like
Mhm.
the annoyance came across, the gritting her
Mhm.
teeth, but still trying to fake it. It was just so good.
She's about to go steal her lunch in the workroom office or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh man, put tacks on her seat in the break room or something.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. And then next we just get the quick glimpse of Justin Audrina at the beach, and they get on his motorcycle and they drive away.
You guys notice that was from the episode that we just recapped?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's a scene from
The
is it the combat
barbecue.
booth? Yeah,
Yeah.
combat booth
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Because we had noted that they both looked like they were in an ad on the beach in that scene. And I was like, hey, that's not from this episode.
Yeah.
It seems like we can. I don't. Okay, so he may tell us different, but I'm not positive that's his motorcycle. I feel
Ooh.
also unsure whether he was licensed. We had a problem with him riding his motorcycle one other time, after a club scene. I'm trying to think if it was this season or before this. Anyway, where I'm not kidding, this motorcycle worked. The one that he had before seriously lasted the length of the shot. Like it was working as a motorcycle for maybe 5 seconds down Hollywood, and that was it. And then it's like, oh, what do we do now? No, and we also got, I'm sure it was a hassle to put 2 cast members on a motorcycle and shoot in real life. It was a fun day. The thing is there's only so many parts of the beach that you can shoot on. We really wanted to make sure, this is all from the previous episode, but it was like we wanted to make sure, what was it, that he was in, that the motorcycle was sort of on the right side of the screen and the ocean was behind him. We didn't want to do it the other way. I remember it being complicated because there were only so many places along PCH that allowed you A, to shoot, and B, gave us the visuals we wanted.
It's so interesting to hear you talk about all this stuff and how you guys map it out in your head, because to us we're just like, it's Audrina and Justin riding off at the beach, but
Yeah.
you have such a specific image of what you want the shot to look like.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, that's why the show was so much fun to make, because you had time to think about what's the best way to tell this moment, as opposed to, well, we'll just, we'll do it at a pancake house or something. It was just like, We want it to look super pretty. We really like them as a couple. It's a show. There's a lot of people behind the two in front of the camera.
Mhm.
Since we're on our last scene of Audrina and Justin, so Audrina was kind of like the friend on the side for seasons 1 and 2, but she's had a much bigger part in season 3.
Mhm.
Partly, I'm sure, because she's now Lauren's roommate. But yeah, how did that happen where she became such a more central part of the show?
Well, we needed someone in the world, and she's a main cast member, who knew Lauren and that could be Lauren's friend. I mean, because Heidi, we didn't plan the beef with Heidi or the blow up with Heidi or that they would separate. I mean, for all of the greatness of Spencer, it put a total wrench into how we saw the show. And it's not like we were planning 5 seasons out, oh, this happens. It was just like, well, now who does Lauren come home to?
Yeah.
And and it was like, what if Audrina lived with her? And like, is Audrina cool with that? Yeah, I think she is. Like it was all, I think Audrina had her own apartment. So that was like, why is this happening? So I mean, that's a thing we encouraged because we needed Lauren to have a buddy, who wasn't the work buddy, which was the role that Whitney was. They knew each other obviously from the show, but it wasn't like these are the best of friends. And we also needed to include Audrina. Like it solved both problems because finding stories for Audrina in seasons 1 and 2 were a little more difficult for us. I'm not sure why, but they were. And so, on one side of it, you want to fill out your story roster, and on another, you want it to make sense. And so those two things, arguably collided, and that's how that happened.
I think it worked well too because Audrina was so the opposite of Heidi. Like they were very different people, so it felt new and fresh and like a change up, which it might have been, might have gotten stale if Heidi and Lauren had remained friends and living together. And it was sad, but it was a refresh.
Right. Yeah. And Audrina isn't Lauren either. You know what I mean? She was a distinct person that reads differently than Lauren and has a different background, although from Orange County as well. So it was just like, okay, great, move in, be friends, and let's do some scenes together.
Yeah.
We've heard that at some point Holly was also living with them, like while Heidi was in the apartment. So where was Holly, like in all of this? And you're looking at me like, was she even living there?
Sure. You're saying Holly was living in Lauren's apartment?
Yeah, like we heard that it was Lauren, Heidi, and Holly living together.
They had that upstairs bedroom that was like
I mean I'm vaguely remembering this. She might have been in town for a couple of months or something, but it wasn't like a real situation. The show paid for the apartment. So I'm guessing Heidi saw it as this is an opportunity for me to have my sister come. This is this is all pure conjecture. Yeah. So I don't remember like, careful, Holly's upstairs, so we need to be quiet or anything. I mean, my memories of the apartment, again, and I'll try not to go off on a tangent, and this was more season 1, was just, they each had those, Heidi got 1 or 2 little dogs that she wasn't cleaning up after. Yeah. She got it and thought it was a teacup sized dog, like Paris Hilton had. And Jordan had bought it in a parking lot. And then it turned into, a slightly larger small dog that left slightly larger poops in the apartment. It was
so funny.
Anyway, that's stuff we're not shooting.
I love that reveal that he bought. What was her name?
Bella.
In a parking lot. Oh, that's great. And I just want to say, knowing that the show paid for that apartment makes me feel so much better because as a 20-year-old, I wanted that apartment and knew I couldn't afford it. And now I feel better about it.
Yeah.
That apartment was goals for a whole generation of
I mean it's iconic, sincerely.
Yeah.
And I should clarify, it's possible that they paid some fraction of it too. I don't want to, I don't, again, that wasn't my wheelhouse. You know, for us, it was a set. I mean, we didn't think of it that way. And it was important they didn't. We didn't have permanent lights up. We kept all of our stuff in a, either on the balcony that they weren't using, or we brought it in and out with us. So it wasn't just like, oh, there's cords and giant cameras.
Yeah.
Because it was their house too.
All right, so our last scene, we see Lauren driving in the car, and she goes to the Chapman Coffee House, and then we see Jason on the sidewalk walking towards her.
He looks good.
He does. Yes.
He looks great. Like the last time we saw him, he didn't look so hot. So
Yeah.
you know, he looks fantastic.
He looks very clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
He smelled good.
Yes.
Yeah. All of that. All of the above.
Yeah. So they greet each other and hug, and Lauren tells him that she comes bearing gifts, and she pulls out a pair of his sunglasses from her purse. Jason grabs them and says, "No, wait, give me these." And he asks where she found them, and she says that they were in her car. Jason asks her what's up and says that she looks good, and Lauren says thank you and points out that he cut his hair and says that she likes it. She asks how long he has off today, and he says he doesn't really have anything going on and that he already went to his morning group. Jason says it's kind of weird how it happened, and Lauren asks what, and he says the whole breakup thing and how they stopped talking. Lauren tells him she had to make a clean break from him, and he says, "I know, it was hard, it was weird, I was out of control, I had some bad habits." Lauren smiles at him, and he says that it was good seeing her again, and she says that she told him she would be his friend again eventually. She just couldn't do it at first. And he says it's hard to get over, and she says that she knows. And that's basically it.
She's still into him, you
So
guys.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was-
she drove.
It was sweet.
She drove to Orange County for us.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a scene that we thought we would shoot, I guess very openly, meaning we weren't there to find hit beats between them, because he was either in rehab or like a halfway house after rehab or some. I don't want to misname any of the things or what he was going through. So we were sensitive to that, and we didn't want to, let's turn this into they get back to, it was just like, no, we need a scene where they talk to each other, and if Lauren's open and he's available, let's do it. Yeah, you drive down to Chapman or wherever that was. Yeah.
Chapman Coffee House, yeah.
Yeah, and just set up. I don't think I have no memory of the sunglasses being us, so that it's possible she did find those in her
that
car.
seemed genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real. Yeah.
It's just so bittersweet though, like you're watching these two and you know how in love they were, and you just you're like, you really just, if these two crazy kids could just figure it out,
Everything would be better.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't go to Paris for this guy.
Right?
I know.
She'll always love him a little bit, and first love stings.
When you guys filmed the breakup scene between them, did you already have it in your head, like, let's see if we could ever get Jason back on? Like, would they ever reunite? Or like, I find it kind of hard to believe that Lauren would bring Jason again, because like she's usually so protective of her love life and personal life that I'm surprised that she agreed to film this again.
Yeah.
Well, when you say the breakup scene, you mean like the garbage bag of here's your stuff? Yeah.
Yes.
No, there wasn't. I mean, we all liked Jason. I remember when I think this was when I was doing the movie I told you guys about that never went anywhere, the Laguna movie, is when Lauren started dating Jason, and it was a big deal because I think he's a year younger than she is in high school or whatever after high school. And no one thought that would be the guy she was drawn to. And we all liked him. So when they were breaking up, it was like, that's a real scene. He's not at his best and had bad habits, as he would say. She is crying because she's feeling that it's painful, not only breaking up, but seeing him this way. And so I think enough time had passed that bringing him back into the fold, if he was open for it, was totally cool. And like, some of those phone messages of Jason called and all of that was stuff that we used to keep him alive, with the hopes of maybe they'll get back together, but the hopes of maybe we'll have more scenes with him. Because we liked him, we liked them together as scene partners, or because their history really pulls at you in real life, you know.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
does that answer that?
Yeah.
It seems like Lauren was in a really good place with it at this point. Like
Yes,
she was
very
like
true.
ready to welcome him back into her life as a friend. And I think that shows. Like had he come out of rehab last season, like I don't think that we would have had that same sort of.
That's all correct.
Yeah.
That's like, it's all true. You can even tell she's very happy to be there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like she's happy to see him doing good.
I know that baby voice doesn't come out very often.
I like it.
No.
Yes.
Oh, Lauren, we love her.
We do. We do.
Well, what was everyone's favorite outfit?
Andrew, you go first.
Me? Oh, I'm going to have two. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know the rules. I don't
No,
work
that's
here.
okay.
Okay.
As many as you want.
And it's a bookends. The first scene with Whitney, I love that top. I think she's, you know what? She has a grace. She really does in real life. And I just thought, oh, she looks beautiful there.
We got a Whitney and woohoo! Liz and I are
Yeah.
huge fans of Whitney, and Candace is
Yeah.
always like, why do you guys love her so much?
but
We're
here's
like,
the
"We
thing, I
love
don't
her."
hate her or anything
You
like
don't
that.
hate her,
No,
but you don't
I just don't notice her as much
worship
as
her.
you guys.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, like they're always like, Whitney looked so cute here, and I'm like, Lauren looked cute because my focus is always on Lauren
Right,
because she
right.
was my favorite back in the day, so that's what I pay attention to. And my favorite outfit's always Lauren, and they're like, okay, but Whitney was there too, and I'm like, I know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, you know, you've got a beautiful best friend. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I think we were lucky to have her. And then I also really loved Lauren's final outfit at the coffee shop. The hairband and the
yes.
white top.
Peak
It's
Lauren.
iconic. You can see that flashed for half a second and know who she is.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. I'm a huge hairband fan.
That outfit and headband could be like the picture in the dictionary next to Lauren Conrad. Like,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I totally
Or
get what you're
whatever,
saying.
2005
Yeah.
fashion. Or,
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
I really liked Lauren's outfit, like that umpire waist dress.
Mhm.
The dress, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really pretty. She got my favorite outfit this week.
That was mine as well. Same dress. Yep. I love that.
Mine was her date outfit at Lola's.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought she looked chic. She looks cute in that scene. I don't know. She always, like, when she's going on dates, she either wears the cutest outfit or a cardigan. And a grandma cardigan. And I'm like, when she looks like an actual, like, young 20s person, I'm like, yes, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this era of like going out tops and jeans, everyone
Yeah.
looked good when they like wore that out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going out tops.
Yep.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I forgot that was a thing. You had to have like a fancy top to go with your low rise jeans
Yes.
to go to the club.
Your skinny jeans, you know, they gotta be
Yeah.
Are
as
you
tight as
kidding,
possible.
Candace? How would you even go out if you didn't
I
do
know.
that?
If you didn't have your going out top and your jeans and your heels, what were you even doing?
Why are you even here?
Exactly. Oh, that's funny.
What about favorite moment?
Can I start again too?
Oh yes, please.
I'm gonna go with the shot of the door in Ledoux when Lauren says, "I've never wanted to stab myself in the eye more."
Yeah.
But that's because
Yes.
that line is so. The reason the shot of the door is there is because of that line. Like we were hearing that line, and it was like, "What are we gonna show?" But we knew we had to include it. You can identify with it and feel what she's feeling on this awful date. And it's funny. That's why I like it. Because we tried to squeeze in humor in every corner of the show that we could, because usually those were the scenes that we first cut out for time. Was well, this scene's funny, but it doesn't really, it doesn't advance story. So I'm sure there was a time when that scene wasn't in the show because it was too long, but we figured a way to squeeze it in.
Bathroom scenes are the best. I love them.
I got two. So one of mine was also a funny, which is Derek on that date. And after she comes back from the bathroom, he like looks at her and sticks his tongue out. And she's like, oh God. And she like sits back in her seat. I thought that was really funny. And then I also just said Elodie's acting was just amazing. Like chef's kiss.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So are you going to decorate it?
Loved it.
Mhm.
Like, could not be topped.
Yeah, mine was also just the whole Elodie confronting Heidi in that last scene there. That was my favorite part.
Well, good for you.
Peak television. I keep saying that,
Yeah.
but like truly.
Yeah.
Mine was Elodie shade all around.
As long as you appreciate it as much as I would have.
Like all of
Yeah.
the Elodie shade, Elodie all the time, every day. The Elodie show.
Yes.
I love this season. We're hitting it on all cylinders, story wise and producing wise. So that's when I rewatch it. That's what I see. It's not a mystery what we're doing. Like we're meaning, oh, where should the camera go, and how much can I talk to them, and does this really work? It's like, yeah, it works. People are watching it, and it's funny.
Oh, devouring it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
And I actually watched the next episode already. And since we have you, Andrew, I got
Yes.
to ask, because I know we're going to be kicking ourselves next week if we don't ask
Sure.
this question.
Okay.
But Lauren and Jason go on a date, and then there's a Heidi and Spencer run-in at Ketchup, which is this
Is this
restaurant.
when they order a drink for? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
I got to know, did you guys tell them ahead of time? Did you plan that? How did they end up at the same restaurant?
I'm sure it was planned, is the short answer. I remember shooting at Ketchup. I just thought it was such a it's total bogosity. It was such a restaurant of like, is this even a restaurant? Like, it just felt so weird and fake nightlife-y. I'm trying to think where their relationship was, because it wasn't, they weren't, Heidi and Spencer weren't, bum rushing us. They weren't crashing it. So there must have been some planning going on, because there's a beautiful shot in that scene where I think we see Jason and Lauren in the foreground, and Heidi and Spencer in the background, right? Isn't there
Yes,
a shot
that's
like
right.
that? Yeah, that took a minute to set up. So it's not. We're not gonna. Well,
You weren't surprised.
why don't we just wait here and hope Heidi shows up? Shh, don't tell
that's
anyone,
funny.
because I'm sure we can't
Yeah.
give this away. Yeah.
I remember that episode so clearly only because it premiered right before the MTV Movie Awards that night, and
Nice.
Robert Pattinson and Taylor Lautner kissed that night on the MTV Movie Awards.
On television?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember being like, oh my God, I get to watch The Hills and I get to watch the MTV Movie Awards. And that episode, I just remember her and Jason
Check.
were on a date, and I was like, this is the best night of television ever. Like, this is
I
great.
think, Candace, I think you found the peak of television.
Yep.
Also, that restaurant sort of, it hangs out over Sunset Boulevard. Like, there's a corner. I'm not sure if we must have showed it, but there's a really, I think they use it in the new season too, in the new reboot somewhere, that same building. But there's like a glass window where there's no, there are no edges, so it looks like you're hanging out over
Ooh.
Sunset Boulevard when you're
That's cool.
when you're shooting there. So
That's awesome.
That is
Catch
cool.
up.
Yeah.
Ketchup. I know. I want to like eat there. Do they have good food, or is it just ketchup?
Oh God, no, no.
Yeah.
We came in. This was the shocker. I don't care who. No, we came in for a scout, because you would look around first a few days before, and so it's midday, or it's 2:00. The restaurant, it's not open yet because it's only at night, and every table still has old food on it. Like, it hasn't been cleared off,
Oh.
and it's just like, do you guys even know what a restaurant is? Like, it was just, it felt like someone in a boardroom said, what if we call it Ketchup? Here's a logo, and you figure out what kind of crappy food to serve these people.
Oh no, I hate restaurants like that.
Yeah.
That sounds
Sorry.
awful. Yeah.
we loved, by the way, the last time you were in LA and you took a photo of the Teen Vogue offices and sent it to us.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We're so excited when we got that. So
we love stuff like that. Oh, God.
anytime
Oh,
you
okay.
see any of these scenes or
Yes,
you know,
send it our way.
locations,
I
send
was
it.
just near it, and I was far enough away, because we were always trying to figure out ways to shoot the building uniquely and sort of give it some zhuzh and make it feel desirable when it's just a building on Wilshire.
Is there anything else from season 3 you'd like to tell us?
Wow,
It's a big season.
Yeah, I
it is
know.
a big season. I don't know. It's my favorite, but no, I mean, I'm trying to think of the other big moments. No, I mean, if I'll comment again on whatever you want, but I can't. There's not an I. If you tell me something happened in 2 episodes from now, I believe you, but I don't remember it specifically.
You'll be our go-to whenever we have questions for producers.
Yeah.
Sincerely, I'd love to, because it's very. I can like, especially after I rewatch, but it's very. It brings back. I was at the majority of the scenes. Of seasons 1, 2, and 3. So it's like, oh yeah, I remember that night. And you remember, we're making television, but you're also remembering, oh, it was that was my daughter's birthday that
it was
day,
like in your life.
you
That's
know,
your
or
life.
or
Yeah.
right, or somebody's, or the DP didn't show up, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. You
Yeah.
remember the larger moments in your own life in relation to that. So that's the fun
Yeah.
part of having something like this.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much for doing
So
this. This was
much.
so fun.
Yes.
I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah,
We
it's
did
a great
too.
time. Is there anything you want like viewers to know, like where to find you on social media or anything like that?
They can find me on Reality TV CSUN. I think that's what it is. That's my handle on Instagram. I teach a class at CSUN about reality television, and if you're a CSUN student, I encourage you to enroll. No, that's it. I mean, if you're fans, hit me up. Love to talk to you about the show. As you can tell,
Yeah.
I could talk about the Hills forever.
And that's why we have this podcast.
Yep.
Do you have the same passion for the other shows that you've worked on, or do you have a special place in your heart for the
No,
Hills?
come. It's the Hills. It's the Hills.
I know, right? You have to feel that way.
Okay, so the reason I love it is I worked on it for a number of seasons. I have a number of shows that I've worked on that I'm just there for one season. The show I left this show, The Hills, to do the Rachel Zoe project, and that was where I was the showrunner. So it was a promotion, just like Heidi's.
Yeah, but you actually were.
I got my own
one.
I got my own office, and Elodie came in and frowned at me. So that show was my first show as a showrunner. The Rachel Zoe project, if you want to watch it, and so that has a different vibe, but it's also it's like the difference between a team sport and then you're the boss of the team sport. Because on the Hills, the thing that I really loved about it, that when I rewatch it, is it's a collaboration. You're looking at easily 8 to 15 people who are all thinking endlessly about 22 minutes of television and how to make it the most entertaining you can. And that was the luxury of the Hills. So yeah, it's totally my favorite.
Yeah.
It was such a time, there aren't shows like that now.
It's so funny that you reduce it to it's 22 minutes of television, and it is, but it was so impactful.
Oh yeah, yeah, no,
those 22 minutes, we were living for those 22 minutes a week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's no dropping a whole season. It's like you're gonna be waiting.
Oh yeah.
And you're not gonna know what happens.
MTV, it was like Tuesday nights at 10. Yeah, I still remember. You had to be there. You had to finish your homework before the Hills.
Oh, that makes me so happy, Candace.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I'm like your peak demographic. I really am. Like I'm who you guys were shooting that television for.
Well, know that we were happy you were there watching, because we were trying to pull people in, and we were imagining what would the fans think of this moment,
Yeah.
And you don't get to do that in a lot of shows now, because you're moving through them much quicker. It's much more segmented. I think we talked about it last time. The joy of the Hills is you could do the field and post. And most shows now, you're either one or the other, and you just sort of hand it off to someone and go, I think they're going to make a very good episode of Housewives with this or something else. But it's not going to, it doesn't have the same amount of time put into it. It can't. Just that we were editing a half-hour show. Think about editing a half-hour show for 6 weeks. That's a lot of edit time. and I know I call it 22 minutes, but it's like that. It's like you're making a solid thing, and you're
Yes.
putting in as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine the stock footage
Yeah.
that you guys had to sit through, like you said, with all the
Oh
dates
my
and
gosh.
the stuff you're shifting through. It's like they're
Yeah.
sitting on the couch eating like Mexican food and nobody's talking, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
Yeah.
Imagine there were people who had to do both. Like, oh, we went and shot the horrible date. Now I'm going to go and sit in the edit bay and try to make it
relive
useful.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch all of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
gosh,
it just brought it back. Like, it's like, yeah, that was horrible. And so you find the moments, like who was on what's the Mexican restaurant that Spencer likes going to?
Don
Don
Antonio's.
Antonio's.
Don Antonio's, yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you again, Andrew. This was so much fun, and we should do this again sometime because it
I
was
would love
great.
that. It's my
Yeah.
pleasure. And
Oh my God,
thank
we would
you.
love it
It's-
too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and this season
We
is
love
so long
Yeah.
that I
That
feel
for
like we
sure
could,
will
for
reach
sure.
out again.
It's like 47 episodes or something.
Yeah.
It's long.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we love it when you vote in our polls. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You
I'll do more.
Jessica Smith Evans, she always votes in our polls too, and I just think
Yeah.
it's so great. I love it when you guys do that.
Oh,
Yep.
it's my pleasure.
All right, guys, we'll see
All
you next
right.
week.
Yep. All right.
Bye.
Bye.